Great. So I'm Niklas, the founder and CEO of Adverty. It's a company developing ad technologies for gaming. So just out of curiosity, before I start, I want to know how many of you in the audience are game developers or game publishers. Please raise your hand. Okay, a few. Excellent. So before I founded Adverty, I spent some 15 years in gaming and ad tech in a mix of small unknown startups, but also big well-known publishers and ad tech companies. So who are we? Adverty was founded in the summer of 2016. And we are based in Stockholm, in Sweden. That's our headquarters. We also have offices in London and in Lviv in Ukraine. We are 18 people at the moment, so pretty small company, but we are growing. And we have to date roughly raised some $7 million. And we did an early IPO, so we are listed on the Nordic Growth Market Stock Exchange in Sweden. So the ad format that we are developing is so new, so it doesn't really have a name. I would place it somewhere between native advertising and display banner advertising. We call it seamless in-game advertising because we place the ads seamlessly into the actual gaming experience of games. And instead of me trying to explain, please enjoy this short video showing exactly what we're doing. Should be some sound here. All right, so why seamless advertising then? Why another ad format? Well, for game developers, we offer you a new way of monetizing 100% of the playtime. Instead of just getting rewarded video ads or banner ads before the game starts or between levels, you can actually put the ads into your creative design and monetize the entire gaming sessions without disrupting the user experience, which is a good thing for advertising. People think of ads as something bad, most likely because you're seeing the ad at the wrong place in the wrong time. For gamers, we offer a soft and seamless, unobtrusive, contextual way of experiencing advertising. For advertisers, we allow them to tap into the huge opportunity of gaming. There's an enormous base of people playing games today, and honestly, they're quite difficult to reach if you're not reaching them when they're playing the games. People don't really watch linear TV anymore. We're getting slower at least, and we don't really surf the web as we did 5 years ago. So to get Generation Z, for example, you need to find them within gaming. So we built the Adverty tech from scratch. We have our own ad server. We have developed an SDK that goes into the games. For us, we focus on the mobile platform. We have built the technology to support Unity as a first phase. But because of Unity, we can also support PC games, console games, and of course virtual reality and augmented reality. And now is the perfect time to add another ad format into this business. And the obvious choice for us is the mobile platform because of the matureness, the massive volumes, and obviously most games being free to play, which is a natural environment for ads to be displayed in and for developers to monetize. But there are challenges with the mobile format. It's so huge. There's over 8,000 apps being released every day on the app stores. So it is a struggle today being an app developer. You need to create a perfect free-to-play game. You need to launch it properly. You need to market it heavily. And and you need to succeed. And the more monetization opportunities there are, obviously that's the better for the developers. We see a similar approach happening in the PC console world. It started with Fortnite, it continued with Apex Legends, and we see more titles that we are used to being released as premium games, soon to be released as free-to-play games. And with the free-to-play scenario, there will be a natural way for advertising to be part of that. And this is happening already, and it will be more in 2020 and next year. Virtual reality had a big hype in 2016, didn't really grow as we expected, but if you're in this industry, you know that there's a lot of things happening in VR every year. Give it a couple more years, and there will be a very interesting ecosystem within virtual reality for gaming and also then for advertising. Looking at the longer vision with augmented reality and smart glasses, Magic Leap wasn't maybe the thing that we wanted, but give it another 10 years maybe, and I'm sure we'll start walking the streets playing AR games, and most likely also see seamless advertising in that space. So the best way to compare Adverty's seamless in-game advertising technique is probably to compare it to a traditional mobile overlay banner ad, which is honestly a quite intrusive element of the gameplay. It's a static banner. It takes up 15 to 20% of the screen all the time, and it's not really part of the experience. No one wants this. The game developer doesn't really want this, unless you're monetizing and making some money out of it. The brands, they don't want to enter in-app in this way. So instead of having a game experience looking like this, having static banners taking over too much, showing a brand message in a pretty awful way, the brand and the actual advertising campaign could be seamlessly integrated into the game instead. In this case, PlayStation advertising an upcoming game in the mobile esports title Critical Ops. So, we don't place ads in the menus, we put them directly into the gameplay. There's a natural way to have more than one ad on the screen at the same time. I mean, you're walking the streets, you can see 5, 6 different ads in some places. That means multiple ad requests, multiple ad impressions, which for a game developer means more revenue in the end. We're not part of your traditional ad mediation. We do ads in a different way. You can't compare us to the very good existing solutions out there. And we're not cannibalizing on that. If you're integrated with 8 ad partners today, Adverty is just an additional one in a different way. And we've tested this. We know that it doesn't affect the performance negatively from your current ad networks. So I'm sure someone here now in the audience is sitting and thinking, so will in-game ads hurt my game in any way? And I would honestly say no, it won't. We have tested this quite heavily, and we have measured over 40 million ads being shown in a AAA mobile game during 2 weeks to validate that there's no negative impact at all on the following KPIs that we measured. So retention, 1, 7, 30 days, no impact. The daily new users, no impact. The App Store reviews and the app scores, no impact. And no bad user feedback whatsoever. So the technology we have developed is very easy to integrate. It's a very lightweight SDK, a couple of 100 kilobytes. Once integrated into Unity, it's a simple drag and drop exercise to enable ads in your gaming environments. And you as a developer choose what kind of ad your game should have. If it should be a viewable brand awareness campaign, or if they should allow also clickable ads, so we can do all kind of performance advertising on them as well. So how to get the Adverty SDK is as simple as getting into our website, sign up as a publisher, add your apps into our portal and extract the application API keys, integrate those into the Unity SDK, and then start playing around, dragging and dropping in ad units and placing them and resizing them, etc. We've also made the ad units bendable, so you can actually put them on non-flat surfaces as well. So put them on cylindrical objects, for example. We can bend ad units up to 180 degrees to put them on various objects. And I'm also very, very happy to announce that we have done a partnership with Unity to be the first ad tech company to list our SDK in the Unity Asset Store in a couple of months from now. So looking at the other side of our business, the media world, brands out there are screaming to get into gaming, into apps, and into esports. But honestly, most of them, they don't really know how to do this. If you look at games, most games out there use traditional rewarded video system, for example, that doesn't really know how to properly show a traditional brand awareness campaigns, the way brands usually advertise on the web, for example. So Adverty is here to make that transition a little bit easier, and as a result of that, we will help developers to monetize this opportunity. But looking at the real facts why brands are now looking so heavily into joining games and apps and esports, you need to understand what is happening on their traditional formats. And brands, they're all about brand safety. They want to be associated in the right places, in the right time, obviously. And brand safety on the web is, there's a lot of shit happening out in the web right now. There's very difficult to understand where the campaigns are heading, how to measure them, how to know that what I'm paying for is actually happening on the screen. No one is controlling what kind of websites are out there. On the app economies, on the other side, at least we have Google and Apple doing the first filtering. And with the seamless in-game technology that we have developed, we have also a very good understanding to do a second filtering on appropriate content to make sure that brands advertise in a brand-safe environment within games. And advertising is all about user targeting. You have a brand message as a brand and you want that to be seen by the right people, right? And if you can't target, life becomes more difficult. Then you just advertise in blind. And on the web again, it's becoming more and more difficult. The industry already have a lot of problems, but now the cookie is about to disappear, which makes targeting even more difficult. And within apps, we have device IDs, we have ad IDs, etc., which at least currently makes life easier to understand where you're actually targeting on mobile games and apps. And last but not least, context. Compare doing an ad on the web where your ad is placed between an article, just text around everything, and you need to be a little bit annoying to get the attention, to get your ad to be seen. Compare that to a game where you have beautiful visuals and you can, in a nicely contextual way, associate your brand with what is happening within the actual experience of a game. We are in the very beginning of something big here, but we are also taking the first steps in getting brands to properly be seen within gaming. There's movements happening in the industry. Big media agencies now looking at creating in-game teams to be sure how to, in a best way, tell that message to brands so they can start advertising within games. But just to give you an idea on where we are at the moment, we've seen that 70% of the audience, the ideal audience that brands want to target, can be found within games. But only 5% of the ad spend is currently going into the gaming channel. So when this is changing, and it's about to change, it will be a very good business for us and for the gaming industry. So Adverty is today live in roughly 25 games on mobile, VR and AR, some games bigger than the others. But we have in a very short time been able to create a pretty big network of gamers. We're reaching over 100 million monthly within the games that are using our technology today. And today I'm also very, very excited to announce a new partnership between Adverty and Madfinger Games to put seamless advertising into the upcoming Shadowgun War Games. And I want you to enjoy a short teaser video for the game.
Do you remember the last time you woke up and said to yourself, today is gonna be a good day? I do. It was this morning. Why am I so optimistic, you ask? Well, it's kind of hard not to be when you're part of War Games, the biggest spectacle in the universe. And there's you. And all you gotta do is just steal a flag and bring it back. Some people are so negative. Damn, I should have done that differently, or I wish I could turn back time, blah, 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 blah. I never got that. After all, time is what you make it. You give it value. You have all the time in the world. The only question is, how are you gonna use it?
All right, an amazing game to be released in February on Google Play and Apple App Store. Currently over 1 million pre-orders, so if you haven't done your pre-ordering yet, go into the War Games, Shadowgun War Games website and do that. Right, so as I mentioned, we're in the start of creating a new ad format here, and looking at the ads that we can deliver today within games, it's the usual ads, as you know ads today, a two-dimensional representation as an image or as a video. That's because that's how we do ads today. So we've built our technology on industry standards, programmatic, so we take banners basically and deliver them into games. We do have a bigger vision than that, and we want to, at some point, create a three-dimensional ad for the three-dimensional space that we're operating in. And to end my talk, I just want to show you a short concept video of how a fully interactive, three-dimensional, rewarded in-game ad could look like in the near future.
When you need to snap out of it, have a break, have a Kit Kat.
All right, that was it. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. I think we might have time for one very quick question, if anybody has any. Oh, yeah, you do. Sorry, there's a man behind you with a microphone.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you for this presentation. I want to ask this question. If we are working with Adverty, with your company, as an agency, by example, advertising agency, should we get an infrastructure or a frame to tracking our performance regarding give you the necessary feedback to our customers, to our brands? Thank you.
Yes, it's a good question. I haven't touched that part of the business that much, but Adverty is connected to some of the biggest buy-side platforms in the programmatic sphere. So if you're an agency, you usually buy through a DSP, and to 95% at least, there's a chance that you can buy our traffic from your DSP that you use as an agency. So that's how we sell the games that have integrated our technology into the media world through the DSPs that they're using to buy.
There is an internet.
Yes. Yes, it has to be.
Okay, great. I think that's all we have time for, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another round of applause for Niklas, please.